What if I told you there are people right now making hundreds or even thousands a month from their laptops doing things so mind-numbingly simple, you'd probably roll your eyes. Now, I'm not talking about drop shipping, crypto, or any of those overhyped schemes that you've heard of 1,000 times. I'm talking about boring, unglamorous methods that actually work. The kind of stuff that most YouTubers won't make videos about because it's not flashy enough. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you ways that real people are quietly building income streams. We're talking about renting out something you didn't know had value, helping busy professionals with tasks that take 5 minutes, and getting paid to organize information that's already out there, and even making money from other people's special occasions. No startup costs, no special skills, just products to create. Just you, your laptop, and methods that work while everyone else is chasing the next shiny object. So, if you appreciate me doing this type of video, let me know by gently tapping that like button, and let's get into it. Now, first of all, disclaimer, making money online can be simple, but it's not easy. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme or anything like that. I know a lot of people online make it seem like that, but it's just not true. And I'm here to give you some boring but realistic ways to earn money with your laptop. So do your own due diligence in researching for these ways to make money, and let's jump into it. All right, so number one is going to be data annotation. And this one is especially effective if you live in a first world English speaking country and you want to make money from AI, not get replaced by AI. So basically, data annotation is the process of labeling data, images, text, audio, video, etc., to teach artificial intelligence systems how to recognize patterns and make predictions. And Tori, for instance, makes $20 to $30 per hour doing this work part-time through data annotation tech. And she uses the income to pay for trips and fun activities. And she says there's unlimited work. So basically, she can work anytime that she wants. Now, you might be thinking, what's stopping someone from India or the Philippines from doing this and doing it for a lot cheaper than Americans? Well, companies keep some data annotation work in America because you can't outsource cultural nuance and legal compliance. For instance, the ability to understand that the word sick actually means cool and not that you're ill. Now, I included this one on the list because there's honestly a massive amount of work out there for stuff like this, where you're essentially training AI. There's a bunch of different companies right now that are in an absolute arms race, an absolute war to have the best possible AI that they can have. And they need tons of people to give their AI feedback and train it. Not to mention the fact that companies that are not AI companies are now using AI to streamline their workflows. And so they also need people to train. All right, quick break. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a one-time only workshop where I talk about the AI content advantage for leads and sales. And this is where I'm going to show you exactly how I got this plaque right here and how I've made a ton of money making content on social media. And you can check it out down in the description and the pinned comment below. At this workshop, I'm going to be giving away my no-click scriptwriter GPT. And this is a tool that I've been working on for a very long time. And just by talking to it, kind of like a friend, you can make content. And you can make original content that doesn't sound like it's AI slop. So you basically talk to it for as little as 10 to 30 seconds, and it will give you a great script that you can use for any kind of content, including YouTube. And this is a GPT-powered piece of software that I've been working on, and it's been trained on thousands of hours of my teaching, my scripts, my coaching, my videos, my students' videos, and more. And I'm giving it away for this one time only at the workshop. So make sure you show up. Click the link in the description and the pinned comment below. If you don't show up to the workshop, you will never be able to get it again. And when you're done registering, make sure you click on the add this to your calendar button so it'll show up in your Google, Apple, or Outlook calendar so you can make sure that you won't miss the chance to grab the no-click scriptwriter GPT. I'm going to be showing you this new opportunity. It's completely free and it's amazing whether you basically want to use it to get a better job, use it to network, use it to make some passive income, start a side hustle, make a full-time income, or even start a full-on business. It works incredibly well with all of those and it's completely free. And you'll also be able to ask me questions live. So I look forward to meeting you. See you Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Oh. Whoops. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna be going over some side hustles, some stuff that you can sort of do as freelancing work, and some actual jobs you can do, and things that could even turn into a business. So I'm gonna give you a lot of different options, so it doesn't matter what background you're coming from or what you're looking for. And one that could be a side hustle, or you could even turn it into a business, is Amazon KDP. Now, this is what's called a platform business, where you essentially partner with a platform, and they take care of a lot of the steps that normally you would have to take care of if you were actually starting a business. So Amazon KDP stands for Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and it's basically where you create books where people can buy them on Kindle, and then you can also even turn those books into hardcover and softcover as well. And just to be clear here, it used to be incredibly difficult to get a book published, and Amazon KDP made it super easy. And it's not just normal books like, fiction or even self-help books. You can also make coloring books or journals or any other number of different types of books out there. And my client Sean Dolet is an absolute beast at Amazon KDP, and he actually became a millionaire by 26 years old by doing this. And he told me that the new meta for Amazon KDP is actually promoting your books with user-generated content, or UGC, on TikTok. And Sean explains it in this video here. And of course, you can heavily utilize AI to help you to write your books, because what's valuable is the actual end information, right? As long as that information is good, no platform cares if it's AI generated, but you do have to make sure that the information is good. And then AI can do the heavy lifting for you. Now, Sean started off on Amazon KDP, and then he started talking about how he was having success on Amazon KDP on YouTube. So he was basically sharing tips and tricks and educating people on how they can do it as well. And this is a common theme with a lot of different ways of making money. You basically learn how to do it yourself, and then you can make like 10 times more teaching other people how to do it. And this actually incentivizes people to share their secrets, right? So it used to be like 50 years ago, if you found a way of making money, you're not gonna tell anybody about that. But because of the fact that you can make significantly more actually teaching other people how to do it, it incentivizes people to share their secrets and let other people have in on the wealth. And Sean even mentions this in his about page because he's very honest and transparent. And I have other clients that just figured out how to get a job or even figured out how to make an extra $1,000 a month with some type of side hustle. And they started YouTube channels and they started making money teaching others how to do the same thing. All right, next on the list is appointment setting. And this is one of those that is definitely not gonna be going away with AI. And essentially what you do here is you basically just respond to inbound messages a lot of the time that influencers or business owners are getting. So this could be via email, it could be via Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. And people are getting others asking them questions inbound via email or Instagram or LinkedIn, etc. And they just don't have enough time to respond to them. And these are people who could potentially become clients. So just as an example, Olivia works as an appointment setter and she connects business owners and influencers with potential clients interested in their products or services. And she says her appointment setting side hustle makes her over $5,000 a month, and you can make your own hours and you never have to leave your room. And she gives an example of selling a $5,000 course with a 5% commission on sales, which is $250. But of course, you only get the money if the sale is closed.
What's happening, guys? In the editing process of this video, and I have an opportunity for a select group of people. So these are people who are serious about growing their personal brand on YouTube. So basically, we figured out recently how to grow a personal brand and combine all the upsides of a personal brand with the upsides of automation, right? Using AI, using things like this to basically grow your personal brand 10 times faster, which in the past used to take decades to do. And now you can do it significantly faster. And you can do this to get a better job. We work with beginners that just want to get a better job with their personal brand. You can do this to make money as a side hustle. We work with a lot of people like that. We can do this to make more money if you already have a side hustle or a small business. Or if you're already crushing it on YouTube, we can help you crush it 10 times more. We've worked with people like that as well. I mean, I literally can show clients at each level. People that we've gotten from 0 to over 10K, 0 to like over 30K, from like 1K per month all the way up to 185K per month, from around 30K per month all the way up to over 500K per month. So literally at every single level, and it works for everyone in every situation. With that being said, we are only working with 3 to 5 people, and they have to be people who are very serious, right? People who are dedicated to making this work. So if you think you're that type of person, go ahead and apply it down in the description and the pinned comment below, and you could be part of our group of 3 to 5 that we help. So see you there. Have a good one.
All right, the next way to make money online is one of my all-time favorites, and this might be the oldest way of making money in all of human existence. Okay, maybe the second oldest way, but that is basically flipping, okay? You buy low and you sell high. Now, there's a lot of different things that you can do this with. I've flipped things ever since I was a teenager. I've made money flipping stuff. Phones, shoes, bikes, laptops, all kinds of different stuff. But there's actually very niche things you can flip, such as boat engine parts. And there's a YouTube channel girl called Boat Busters who flips boats using Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. And this is a super interesting channel because sometimes they'll just buy a boat, kind of fix it up a little bit and then sell it. And sometimes they'll buy a boat and sell the parts individually. And not only does he do this himself and he makes a really good amount of money doing it, but he also has a YouTube channel where he teaches other people how to do it as well. So again, this kind of goes back to what I said before, which is figure out how to make money and then teach other people how to make money and make even like 10 times more than what you were making with the thing in the first place. So yeah, in this particular case, he's just flipping boats locally, but there's a lot of stuff where you can buy and sell and do everything online. Just as an example, I knew a guy who was making a ton of money by buying keyboards and then he would sell the individual buttons on the keyboard. So yeah, super good way of making money. I've done this my entire life. Absolute no-brainer. Now you might be thinking, Shane, I don't want to deal with any physical products, but I still want to flip stuff. How do I do that? Well, you can do domain flipping. And this is where you buy a domain online that you think is going to be worth a lot of money. And this might be around something that's happening culturally that you think is getting a lot of attention and therefore is going to be worth a lot when it comes to the traffic it's getting. Just as a random example, imagine if you bought the domain Facebook in 2001. And of course, the company Facebook started off as the Facebook, but then later they rebranded to Facebook. And they probably had to buy that domain from someone else who owned it. And they would have had to pay that person a lot of money because they have a lot of leverage. And there are a ton of people out there that are making money doing this. For instance, this girl made $15,000 from $100. She literally turned $100 into $15,000 by domain flipping. So it's as simple as search and find an available domain name, register a domain name, find a buyer, and then sell it to them for a higher price. All right, next one is yard rental for dogs. And if you have a backyard, and especially if you live in an urban area where there's not a lot of parks and not a lot of places that people can walk their dogs, this might be a phenomenal way to make money. And it's literally where you just rent your yard for people to walk their dogs in. So just as an example, this guy named Rick and his wife rent out their 5-acre backyard as a private dog park. It's kind of like an Airbnb, but for dogs. And he makes $3,000 a month doing this. And he says he only spends about 10 minutes a day on this easy side hustle, and it costs him basically nothing to set up. And yes, the dog owner is 100% responsible for cleanup. They aren't cleaning up the poop. Now, if you don't want people to walk their dogs, you could also consider doing self-storage with an app like Neighbor. And this is basically where people just store their stuff at your house, and it's kind of like Airbnb, but for self-storage. And then finally, the ultimate business. This is the one that I did myself, so of course I have to talk about this one, and that is starting a YouTube channel. So there's a ton of different ways to make money on YouTube. You've got like faceless content, you've got YouTube automation, you got entertainment content. What I personally recommend when it comes to making money, and I think this is one of the easiest ways to make money because you don't have to get millions of views to make a full-time income, is education content, and specifically with a personal brand. So just as an example, one of my clients, Bill, he has a channel called The Financial Controller. And on this channel, he teaches accountants how to become financial controllers, which is a very high-level accounting position. So it's super, super niche and boring, honestly. Let's be honest. Like, teaching this stuff is probably extremely boring for him. But basically, he sells his course in one-on-one coaching, and he's able to make a ton of money doing this. And he's helped a ton of people go from being a normal accountant, probably making about $50,000 to $70,000 a year, to a financial controller making $100,000 to $200,000 a year. Now, doing this can be very difficult. So if you want a personalized strategy session where we will go over where you are right now, where you want to be, we'll make a plan to get to where you want to be, and then we'll figure out if we're a good fit to work together or not, then go ahead and book a call down the description and the pinned comment below. And if you want to see a full-length interview breaking down exactly how we help Sean go from $30,000 a month all the way to over $500,000 a month, then you can check out that video by clicking right here.